Hey everybody, welcome to the Prime 4 podcast. My name is Bryce.
Ross.
Alex.
Chris.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris isn't here today. To start the service, we're going to go ahead and open our books of the Gospel according to St. Peter, written by Moses Barrett III. You thought it was over. Think again. We're going to go ahead and go to Book 1, Diary of a Sinner, first entry. And then we're going to go to Chapter 3, Raise Up, and read a few lines for you. Let me pick some good one. Who am I, Petey Pub motherfucker, first to put it down for North Carolina, but guess what? What? It's been worth it. I'm a superstar, bought me a big old car, 4.6, seen it cuz. Black, I might as well keep going. Black with the bars on the front and back, and got a button in the middle, make the truck go eh.
There you go.
And that will conclude our service today. And maybe next week we'll revisit that at some point.
Well, we didn't say yay men.
Yay, man! I'll say that.
Alex, like, goddamn it.
All right, hip hop news. We got a little bit for you. Who posted the one about Jay-Z pressured the NFL thing about calling Kaepernick?
Well, I just put it in there for the headline more or less than, you know.
No one read the article?
Probably not.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I know that he was trying to get the workouts set up, you know, because, like, he got a lot of blowback, you know, for being a sellout or whatever, you know. So.
Yeah, we're talking about Jay-Z's NFL deal. He is trying to allegedly pressure the NFL into giving Colin Kaepernick a workout?
He already had the workout, so yeah, he already
Okay,
did.
so what does that mean, though? What does it mean when an unemployed NFL player has a workout?
They had people from many teams, any teams that were interested, go and watch him, pretty much. It's like a scouting thing.
With just him?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Him, like, throwing to other people for his quarterback, of course.
Yep.
Oh.
He chose the guys he threw to, I guess, too, so...
Yeah, I hope he picks some shitty dudes he threw to.
Yeah,
Make
well,
himself look better.
Depending on who you are.
Oh, no, you want him to be good.
Pick who you throw
Yeah,
to.
you want him to be good. Yeah, I guess.
If you're Tom Brady, you can pick who you throw to, how many PSI are in the football, all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Fuck, I'm trying to find the article that you posted.
That was probably a while ago.
Oh, maybe it was in the other one. The other Facebook Messenger chat that you posted it.
It is possible.
It is possible.
So, in regards to that, that's pretty cool. But we knew it was, coming. He's like...
Damage control.
Yeah, damage control. Jay-Z's a piece of shit. I can't stress that enough. And this is him trying to, like realizing it's like, oh, I couldn't just get off scot-free doing this crazy fucking shit? Wow. So, I guess this is weird. Because Colin Kaepernick's a fucking sellout, too. Mm-hmm. So, fuck Kaepernick.
Oh, did you see what I saw? Apparently, since the whole Kaepernick thing, Nike has made like $26 billion since then, like profit, I think, or something like that. So, like,
yeah,
it
still
worked
the
out,
official,
it worked out
dealer
perfectly
of the
for
NFL.
him.
Yeah, it was all part of the plan.
And
just
like Kaepernick's gonna have a shoe too, apparently. So.
Yeah,
well,
just when
the deal.
Kaepernick got money and shut up.
People buy your shoes, but then you also look woke, so more people buy your shoes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though they're made in sweatshops in Vietnam, you know.
I guess that boycott worked.
Well, it's funny. Jay-Z's like, oh, I'm doing this NFL deal. And Colin Kaepernick's like, wow, that's pretty sketchy. I didn't do anything remotely like that. And then Jay-Z's like, oh, people don't like me? How about I bring Kaepernick back in the NFL that is supposed to be boycotted? But Colin Kaepernick took the money from the official dealer of the NFL. He hasn't, really said anything since.
Right.
That I know of, anyway. I guess I'm not looking too much into it. It's probably not, like, front page news anymore. So maybe he does say shit and people just don't say anything. But it's a stupid situation that they're in. And I don't think they handled it well. And they're both pieces of shit. So that's my public opinion. My personal opinion, not public. Could be public. If anybody watches our shit, go ahead and like and subscribe and hit the bell, please. A$AP Rocky was mentioned in the impeachment hearing inquiry.
Yep. Yep.
I can't stress that enough. It's not an impeachment trial. They are impeachment hearing inquiries. It's where witnesses come in to testify in front of the House, and from there, well, you know the outcome already. I mean, the House was going to, majority Dem, House was going to vote for impeachment, didn't matter. I don't think it was a show either, but I think the public, they already had all this information in closed testimonies and stuff.
Yep.
But they knew that the public also needed to hear this shit firsthand rather than from news outlets.
Yep.
So you had extremely credible state employees or federal employees that work for the government that came in and testified, and from multiple departments, all I can't say the word, corroborating each other's testimonies essentially. And
all of them concerned about the stuff he was doing.
Yeah, pretty much. Some of them not. Some of them even said, I personally don't think that this was illegal, what he did.
What's funny is there was one that said that when I was watching, and then the other person that was there with them,
said it was.
Quoted the law things that it was breaking. And I was just laughing my ass off because this guy just said, "Oh, that was fine," and then this person says, "What? Whoa, this says you're not supposed to do that." And the guy didn't even respond.
You got to understand, the Republican stance has shifted to, yeah, he did some illegal stuff, but you shouldn't remove him from office over it. That's actually where they're at right now, the Republicans.
Sorry, but we are going to get a little bit political with this, just because it's colliding with rap. But I did watch over 20 hours of these fucking hearings, or listen to them, excuse me. I was at work. The only one I missed was, I believe, Wednesday evenings, where I listened to a full day at work of hearings, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're having 2 more people come in after. And I was like, it's 6. The first one's just got done at 6. I'm not listening to the other 2 people. I didn't even look up. It was another 2-person one.
I think that might have been the one I watched, maybe.
It was a female and a male, but I can't remember who it was or anything.
One I watched.
But then, you had people that were clearly partisan testifying, clearly bipartisan testifying, and you had people, they even you had all these testimonies of people Sondland, Ambassador Sondland, he was doing back channel shit, pretty sketchy. And then eventually, Sondland actually came with a subpoena to testify. But of course, he couldn't find, the State Department wouldn't give him any of the papers.
Well, yeah, of course not.
So he's like, you know what? That's possible, but I don't remember. It'd be nice if I had my records here. And they're like, did you take any records? And he's like, no, but other people did, and it would be nice to see them. And then they're like, this is the one, Ambassador Sondland is the one that Trump appointed that created the back channel between Rudy Giuliani and President of Ukraine and their ambassadors. And in case you're not aware of that, for all this shit show. And Sondland went and testified. That was very interesting to hear how he's skirting every single issue, but then he does agree. He's like, yeah, there was definitely a quid pro quo.
Yep, there you go.
And he admitted, and that's Trump's puppet. But of course, he tried to distance himself through his firsthand accounts.
He tried to save his own ass.
Yeah, essentially. And this was he even admitted I was there to set up a back channel for business or whatever. I was there to create business with the Ukraine or whatever. This is a multimillionaire that owns a bunch of fucking hotels that bought one of Trump's $1 million supporter tickets for his inauguration party. And it was funny because even Republicans and Democrats were kind of ripping into that guy, which was pretty funny. And so that was interesting. He's like, no, I didn't take notes, but I don't believe that's what happened. And they're like, okay, these other people that already testified took notes. They said this and this and this. They both corroborated each other. I cannot say that word. And they're like, do you think that they were lying? And he's like, well, no, you say that, no. That's probably how it went down.
It's well,
Yeah,
he's like, oh, you got me.
Yeah, he's pretty much like, if they made notes and they testified, those are correct. Like, but I don't remember that. Mm-hmm. Like, I never said Biden at all. And they're like, these two people said you did. And he's like, well, maybe I did. Who knows?
It's like, I mean,
I probably didn't know what was even going on at the time.
But
no, I'm just kidding.
Off that rant, to tie it in. Wait. I'll mention ASAP Rocky was mentioned over a dozen times through 2 days of testimonies. Mm-hmm. Yep. And apparently, Ambassador Sondland, Trump's puppet, was at a lunch with someone. Mm-hmm. And he called Trump, and Trump was apparently being very loud over the phone, so the other people with him, like, he held the phone away from his ear, he was being so loud. And, Trump asked about Ukraine, and Sondland was like, yeah, it's all good. And then Trump said, what about Sweden? Mm. And then Sondland's like, Trump mentioned ASAP Rocky or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, I'm paraphrasing this because I can't remember exactly what he said. But Sondland apparently said over the phone to let ASAP Rocky get judged first, then play the race card to get him out. If that doesn't work, you can tell the Kardashians you tried. Mm-hmm. so now we know it was the Kardashians. I don't know if this is actually news at all. Maybe this is already out, but I didn't know. But apparently the Kardashians, wanted Trump to get ASAP Rocky out of prison. Mm-hmm. As another publicity stunt.
In another country, mind you.
Which they didn't do. Like, I don't even know what's going on with that situation, but they said that they were, he was going to be tried or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's what ties it in to the politics. And I just thought it was incredible that, like, yeah, it's just they're just talking about ASAP Rocky and fucking in
I mean, the Kardashians got money to buy influence with Trump. I mean, it's all pay to play.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the guy gives him $1 million, Founders Edition ticket or whatever for his inauguration. Then he's all of a sudden an ambassador or some shit. It's like. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yep. So, for those of you who are interested in politics, a lot of people aren't anymore at this point because people are worn out, because it's been a fucking war between the left and the right, and, the liberal, the non-liberal, the conservative. Libertarians just stand on the outside looking in.
Libertarians kind of stand in with the Republicans and say, we're not Republicans.
Yeah, pretty much. But for those of you who are interested, you can find, probably news articles that summarizes all the testimonies that they had and stuff, the hearings. So what did you guys personally think? Because there's a lot of people that, I'm going back to the hearings. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people, of course Republicans are saying, oh my God, Repubs own Dems. But a lot of people understand that is now like, Russian bots still, more than likely.
Oh, yeah.
Because, to me, personally, I don't consider myself a Democrat. I don't consider myself a Republican. Definitely lean more Democrat because they're, like, pretty much smarter than the Republicans and their lawmaking and stuff.
They say that when you break it down, like, people with a college education typically lean liberal and people with no post-secondary education lean or not graduated from high school at all lean more conservative. And the reason I have a theory that Republicans are just Democrats do bad shit. Of course, there's the corporate Democrats that are pretty much just your Republicans, just in Democrat form, but they're so much more intelligent than their Republican counterparts. Mm-hmm. They normally get away with all of this shit. Mm-hmm. Like the Biden Burisma thing with Hunter Biden, mm-hmm. all that shit, even though it was a corrupt ambassador that Biden requested to be fired, that's fine. Hunter Biden in oil companies, Burisma or whatever, taking money from them, I don't know if that's on the up and up, but as someone who's not a Democrat, gladly, Republicans, open a trial all you want. If the evidence is there, I will burn them at the stake too.
Yep.
I don't give a shit about no Biden.
That's why I didn't understand when they wanted to have their own people testify and they wanted, like, Hunter Biden and stuff like that. And I'm like, what does he have to do with the corruption, like the stuff Trump was doing?
Nothing. But
Exactly.
But a lot of the minority representatives, they use their 5 minutes to make statements rather than ask questions, which was fucking excruciating to hear.
Yeah.
The witnesses rarely ever responded to any of that, except for one time, Dr. Hill, she responded to it because they did it like 3 times in a row. Like, you're saying Republicans, aren't, don't believe the Russians conspired to hack the 2016 elections. We signed, papers saying that we agree. This is hearsay, and your whole case is hearsay.
Well, what are you doing about it?
Yeah, and eventually she said something, but she did not correct him on that, which I was surprised. The chairman had to do that. Chairman Schiff, he corrected on that, but it was excruciating.
You gotta understand, when you don't actually have anything to actually argue, you just make noise. That's the thing. Republicans have nothing to argue. They're just making noise. When you cannot make
your argument, you argue. You get your straw man out.
You get your semantics.
You get your semantics. Just like when we were arguing about Kanye being a ghostwriter, these two pulled out the fucking semantics card.
It's just condemn.
And that's what Republicans do. And of course, they all yielded their time to Minority Representative Jordan. They're like, I yielded to Jordan, and he's like, he was the semantic king. He was okay. Now, Mr. Whatever, Ambassador, whatever, were you Donald Trump? Are you Donald Trump? Well, no, I'm not Donald Trump. And as not Donald Trump, did you say that you committed bribery as Donald Trump while being Trump? Well, no, I'm not Donald Trump.
That guy's a fucking...
And they're like, and then he's like, were you next to Donald Trump when he said, I committed bribery to the Ukraine?
You're saying he has to admit it?
No. Yeah.
You have to say the name of the crime.
And he's like, well, there you go. You don't have a case. You don't have a case. You can't.
He didn't just say, I'm bribing.
Yeah, you're not Donald Trump. You didn't bribe, so obviously there was no bribery. And that's like all they did. It was just like ridiculous shit like that.
Someone's gotta check him on covering up those pedos in Ohio, though. Like, someone's gotta roast him.
Hopefully his state is taking care of that.
Mm-hmm. You'd figure that.
Guy.
You should hear when they were like, there were some points where they were getting mad because the Republicans were like trying to break the rules, and then like the chairman Schiff, like,
oh yeah,
the Dems. I was surprised. Most of the Dems kept their cool. And that one guy, I can't remember that House representative, the young Biden or whatever from California, I think. He was on the... Oh,
I know who you're talking about,
yeah, the Intelligence Committee there. And one of the Republicans were like... Oh, and another one of their arguments were the whistleblower. They constantly, every single day, multiple ones... wanted the whistleblower. Schiff knows who the whistleblower is, but we don't. We don't get time with them. Yep. And then one Republican's like reads a law, and then that California young Biden representative goes next, and then he just quotes Trump, like, whistleblowers should be hung and strung up. They should be tried as spies and as treasonous whatever. Yeah. In this, and he just quotes a bunch of shit, and he just says the whistleblower's life was threatened. They cannot come here to testify against the person that threatened their lives, who happens to be the President of the United States. And surprisingly, they actually kind of shut up mostly about that, because that pretty much shut it down. Well, thank God. But they just repeated the same shit every 5 minutes.
No one knew who Deep Throat was for over 30 years after the whole Watergate thing.
Yep.
He was like 90-some years old, I think, when he finally said who he was.
And bless his heart, there was a military man there. I can't remember his fucking name. He was the guy who was worried about the call, like, initially.
Vindman?
Yeah, Vindman. Colonel Vindman. And bless his heart, dude, you know, he seemed very nervous. He couldn't read. He stumbled over his words. Mm-hmm. The fucking Republican... God, what was it? I think it was fucking Nunes. Almost got him to give up the whistleblower's identity.
Nunes is a Russian asset.
Yeah, that's all they keep doing. That's all they. Every time I saw the hearings, they kept trying to ask if the person knew who it was.
Yeah,
tried to get
and everybody else knew.
Slip up.
Vindman didn't understand, or like so nervous. I'm not saying he's not smart, but he was probably nervous. Well, he didn't understand what they were doing. Yeah. Fucking almost gave up the whistleblower, like, right on the spot. Well, if that is the whistleblower, I guess. Yeah. It could not be. Who knows?
Already got people who
Schiff had to cut in.
Yep.
Like, the chairman Schiff, and he's like, shut the fuck up. Like, everybody, shut the fuck up. You're trying to do this to the witness. He obviously didn't speak like that. Well, he didn't swear,
Did you
really.
hear that the Army is actually thinking of putting, like, Vindman in, like, witness protection?
Yeah. A lot of like the people
Army,
who are testifying,
the Army is gonna like put him in under protection. That's how fucking nuts people are.
Yeah, a lot of those people, the ambassadors and shit, they're like, yeah, we've already been receiving death threats. Like even Ambassador Sondland, the crook Trump appointee, he's like, yeah, people are boycotting my businesses. I'm losing money. Like my wife's life has been threatened and stuff, or whatever he said, and it's like.
Yep.
That's what Trump wants. And
well, that's the right for it.
Why doesn't Trump tell people not to mess with him?
But because Trump doesn't want that.
Because Trump wants it to
But
happen.
He's not implicated in doing it, so
well,
it's like he can let it happen.
He's the one who, during one of the debates or something, said something, or some speech said something about the 2A people. You think he fucking cares about fucking these people being safe?
No, he made fun of someone disabled at one of his fucking rallies.
I'm just saying, he keeps pardoning all these war criminals. You think he'd be nice enough to say, hey, don't mess with this guy.
And then the Navy tried to remove that guy from being a SEAL because of his crimes, and then...
Did you hear that? Yeah, that guy that he recently pardoned, the Navy was pissed about, because they were still prosecuting him.
So they were gonna remove him from SEALs, and then Trump said, nope, you can't.
Yep.
The guy's literally a fucking...
Because Trump pardoned him?
Yeah.
But he was still on trial.
He literally...
to take a pardon, you have to admit guilt to all the crimes, which means that he shouldn't be able to be a SEAL anymore.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
What did the SEAL do?
Was he the guy who premeditated the murder of the bomb maker? Or suspected bomb maker?
I don't know.
Whatever.
It could be.
It could be, yeah. I'm not caught up on my war crimes.
There was one where they shot two civilians that were driving on a motorcycle, but I don't know if that might be the Army guy.
I know the one dude brought the suspected guy to like a tunnel and then to stripped him down to no clothes, I think, and then interrogated the guy, and then he claimed the guy grabbed a rock and tried to kill him, so he shot him.
God, I'm being fucking tortured. I'd try to kill the person torturing me too.
Well, he wasn't even. Well, it's funny because he wasn't supposed to take the guy off base, and he did.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
He literally snuck a criminal off of the base.
Suspected criminal.
Yeah, suspected criminal.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's because they think that's the guy who made the bomb that killed one of his squad mates or something like that, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, so he wanted personal.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone with personal ties to that, why would they be allowed to be anywhere near that prisoner?
Right.
Oh my God, it's mind-blowing. But what do you think, obviously Trump's whole campaign was, to sow discord, more than likely for Russia.
Exactly. No,
but what does he get?
The foundations of geopolitics. It's literally a playbook written by Russia on how to destroy the West. And Trump is just acting out these things that are in that fucking book.
Yeah. But it's
like Brexit, too. Brexit's out of that playbook, too. How to destroy the West.
Do you think he's going for the extremest military vote when he pardons war criminals?
Well, it's funny because even the people in the military are not liking the people he's letting pardon.
The military, they're like, so how are we supposed to keep people,
from not doing these things.
Well-disciplined if you're just going to give them a pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, Discord, I guess.
I don't know how the UN that's in charge of, all the war crime stuff other than us, pretty much? in the world? Is that who it is?
Yeah, but they can't actually.
Yeah,
do
but I'm
anything.
saying like
No,
There's
they
a
could probably
reason
only
that-
do it if there's like.
I'm just saying we're not part of them, so we're supposed to take care of our own
we
war
never
criminals.
signed on to the ICC
But
because
I'm
then
pretty
we'd be-
sure if we start showing that
We'd
we're
have to
not
hand people
that we're
over.
not taking
Yep.
care of like people committing war crimes, that the rest of the world's gonna fucking
And what's
do
funny
something about
is
it.
actually there's actually a law that was passed by I'm pretty sure Republicans called the Hague Invasion Act, where if they ever get any Americans, there's plans drawn up to invade the Netherlands and bust them out. Yeah. Yep.
Because they don't want anybody to have any of their war criminals.
Because
Like, they didn't sign on, so no one can
they
arrest
don't
them.
really want our war crimes to be checked in the same amount of the same
Public
the same
light.
way that
Believe-
other countries.
The rest of the
war
world
crimes
is
are
more
checked.
severe usually.
Mhm.
Let's just say that.
Oh, probably.
Like Saddam
Death
Hussein
penalties.
was what his trial thing. That's what they do with war criminals.
Oh, they.
If it's bad enough, they kill you.
Well, yeah, of course.
America, they just lock you up forever.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah, if that's what they do.
If it's bad enough, otherwise they just lock you up for a while.
Yeah, they lock you up for a while.
It's like if you really go far enough for like team kill, then you'll get the death penalty. But if it's just some Iraqi kid, no,
Exactly.
they're not gonna.
Yep.
So what if you do? So if you commit premeditated murder as like a Navy, is your sentence just being dishonorably discharged, or do they dishonorably discharge you and then hand you over to the judicial system?
Like I don't know what our war crime like laws are. To tell
Well,
you the truth.
Yeah.
war crimes are processed through military justice. It's not through the
that's
actual.
what- yeah.
So
So there's probably some sort of jail
if
time
you're
involved with
convicted,
it.
you're probably stripped of your ranks, and yeah, obviously.
Well, you get locked
Okay.
up in Leavenworth, isn't it, or whatever?
I don't know if everyone goes to Leavenworth or just Army.
Okay,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I know at least some of them.
That is very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all I got for politics. It was a shit show.
Oh, you forgot Netanyahu or whatever.
What?
He's being indicted under corruption, bribery, a bunch of different charges.
Oh, the Israeli prime
Fraud,
minister.
breach of trust, yeah.
See, I'm not caught up on that, so I didn't bring it up.
Well, the thing
I don't
is,
even know what's
he
going
was
on.
banking on like winning the this last election, like and keeping the majority to where he would be able to like not be charged. But that didn't happen, so now he's being charged.
That's awesome.
Yep.
He tried to stack it,
Yeah.
so he
well,
didn't
he's like,
get
if I could
charged.
just stay in power, they can't do anything about
there are
me.
enough people in Israel that are like tired of all the bad rap that they get, for all the.
It's kind of like how Trump can't be like touched while he's a president.
Oh, you should hear people talk, like Trump supporters talk about fucking Israel and stuff. It fucking blows my mind. It's crazy.
Well, they believe that that's gonna jumpstart, the end of days or whatever. But it's like
I don't think they even understand that
That's
we're
not
like
our
their
choice.
major supplier. We're like everything to Israel. Like I don't think they understand.
and all that. What the U.S.
Gave them
mostly
a
gets in
fucking Air
return is
Force.
espionage, but
Yeah, that's something.
but
Espionage is
it's
something.
against us though.
Yeah.
Like nuclear secrets just disappeared. The Chinese got them. Israel and South Africa built an atom bomb back in the day, but South Africa said, we don't want this anymore. So now Israel has an undisclosed number of nukes. Because if you disclose that, well then you don't get any military aid anymore.
Right. So they just deny it.
Mm-hmm.
And the aid keeps coming in.
Well,
and
obviously
it's not
we know they have them. We're just not going to call them on it because that's a very strategic position in that area of the world.
coming. Right.
That's why we're not messing with Turkey either because we
Trump
have
is.
military bases there.
Who's
Trump's not doing anything about Turkey. He's just
Oh, he's buddying up, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah. Was it the first? Who's the?
He's like,
president?
he's
The
like,
Prime
you see,
Minister of
they
Turkey?
want a ceasefire, so they're good.
Yeah.
He's pretty much like,
it's like
Yeah.
drop bombs on like women and children. Say you want a ceasefire. Oh,
Don't
they don't want to
no,
kill
well,
women and children anymore. They must be good people.
Well, it's like, they want a ceasefire, and the only terms of the condition is they want 8 miles of land that as a neutral zone that these people lived in.
uh-huh.
I don't know how to
Or
pronounce
whatever.
his name, Erdogan or whatever.
Erdogan.
Yeah, the first.
You mean as soon as he came to the U.S. and his bodyguards beat the shit out of people, we should have just fucking locked him up? Mm-hmm. Been like, oh, sorry, you know what? You'll get him back if.
Erdogan, Trump was with Erdogan during the first impeachment hearing inquiries. He's like, I didn't watch him. I was with Erdogan. It was more important. Like, it's like
more important.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's really weird because he idolizes just the worst people.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, that's the part of the plan.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
alienate your real allies.
The India leader, prime minister guy.
Narendra Modi.
Yeah.
Who's the other Modi guy? The cricket guy.
The cricket guy. God dang it.
What do you think about? Did you hear about Trump? I saw some articles, but I didn't read into them. Apparently, Trump admitted that he cut aid.
Yep.
Military aid to the Ukraine.
He pretty much said on Fox and Friends that he did it. Which
he
is
said
funny.
that he did it because basically they're like, well, he committed a crime, but he shouldn't be removed from office.
He claims it was because he was trying to root out corruption in Ukraine over the election. Is why he was holding the stuff
back. You mean
back.
a democratic election, just like when they did an election in Venezuela and the U.S.
He said something about them hiding a server in Ukraine about that has like information on it about the election.
Like Cloud Strike or whatever.
Or something like that.
You mean like him hiding a server with all of his phone calls to all these people? Like,
yep. As soon as the call gets over, yeah, you should put that on a private server because you kind of said some weird shit. You get someone comes up to him instantly and says that. Right. That's funny.
It's fucking nuts. We'll see how that goes in the future. He'll definitely go to the Senate for the impeachment, but it's not making it past there.
Well, you got your buddy Mitch there. He won't let it go through. So
you got to understand, you'll get enough Republicans. It's just going to be like those other votes where Susan Collins will say, "Oh, I'm voting no on this because they already have enough votes yes to have it pass anyway." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There'll be a few who will try to save their skin, but at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Isn't the guy running against Mitch McConnell this next time? Isn't his name Cox or something like that?
Really?
Because I swear it's
no, actually no. The one who's running against that is actually it's a woman. I forget what her name is, but she was I believe a fighter pilot.
Oh yeah.
Because
I saw that.
I thought that was against somebody else. But okay.
Well, let's move on for politics though. We talked about it for a half hour. Valve announces Half-Life Alyx. Its first flagship VR game. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I've never really.
Did you see the trailer?
No, I've never really looked into VR games. But
it is not Half-Life 3. It is, just to put this into perspective, Half-Life 2 Episode 2 was in 2007. So
yep.
It'll be near 13 years later we're getting another Half-Life game. It takes place between Half-Life and Half-Life 2, I think. So it's like Alex's journey before she meets Gordon, I think, maybe.
But
possibly.
The question is, will the G-Man show up?
Yeah, he's in the trailer.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. Well, at the end they show him like walking up through the darkness, and then he just smirks, and then it ends.
Oh God.
So we'll see how that goes. Wake up and smell the ashes. To put that into perspective, we had to wait a decade for Diablo 3 between Diablo 2. This might be the oldest. Oh, I'm trying to think. It's probably not.
There's probably some game from like the 70s that they resurrected or some shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But how about a beloved franchise? This is probably the largest gap there's been between a game for a beloved franchise, for like a very high-selling franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Did you know that Half-Life 2 is on the original Xbox?
Yeah, I think they put a lot of those games like Counter-Strike and all that stuff on there.
Like, I know there was Orange Box, and I thought it was Half-Life, but not Half-Life 2. Yeah. I didn't think it was even powerful to run the original.
Well, obviously, they tamed down the graphics if they did, you know? Like,
probably.
I just looked it up. Cox is one of the Democrats that's trying for the
yeah,
spot.
It was the original Xbox. That blows my mind.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
What was that?
Original.
I said it was a long time ago.
What? The original Xbox?
Well, yeah.
Or Half-Life 2? Yeah, Half-Life 2 was... Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah. It's been a while. I don't have a VR set, so
exactly.
I mean, I'm not excited for it at all. But I mean, I'll watch someone play it probably.
Is Half-Life 3 coming?
If this sells well,
you do realize
maybe.
that people want Half-Life 3, but they're never going to give it. They're just going to trickle out these fucking side games.
I don't know. This They opened the faucet a little bit. They opened the valve a little bit.
Yeah, they opened the valve. I think...
You mean they're willing to spend money on developing some games again?
Yep.
Instead of just, like, charging twice as much in shop fees than fucking Epic Game Store or something like that?
Right.
I'm excited to see them make games again. Because it's been, it's been a while.
If the game does well, Gaben gets money, so it's kind of like,
Was there anything after Half-Life 2 that they made?
Yeah, episode 1 and episode 2.
That's what I'm saying. Like after that, though. I mean,
No, this is the next one. Half-Life 2 episode 2 was in 2007.
Okay, so then they didn't make any other games after that.
No.
Like nothing.
Oh, like games?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Didn't Valve make that shitty card game where you had to buy into it or something like that?
Oh, Artifact, yeah.
Yeah.
They did have a card game.
Mm-hmm.
They did do
They've
Artifact.
had a couple games. Didn't they do Dota 2 as well?
I think Dota 2 is older than that.
No, Valve actually, they ripped off the original Dota and they made Dota 2, and then Blizzard tried suing Valve, and they're like, it's a different game.
Actually, yeah, you might be right on that.
100%.
Let me see when that was
Because
made.
Dota was originally a...
initial release date, 2013, yeah.
For what, Dota 2?
Yeah, Dota 2, initial release date,
It was
2013.
Valve Corporation, yep.
Yeah, Valve made it. It's on Steam.
Jeez.
It's one of their flagship games.
So I guess they have made some stuff, but that one was...
Well, they didn't really make something. They just took what someone modded a Blizzard game and were like, you know what? It's a mod. Blizzard's never going to,
but it's
we'll
funny
just rip it off.
League of Legends had already been around for years, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
From 2013, when was League of Legends launched?
It was at least
2009
2009 was beta, maybe?
I wanna say,
2009
yeah.
or so,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
League's been out for around 10
And
years.
that was
now.
literally,
That's why it's 10.
That was literally made by two
good
guys
call.
who played like the Warcraft 3 mod, Dota, and
yep.
we're all like, well, let's make this into a game.
Yep. League of Legends, and then they're just like...
Yep, started with what? Rise and Tryndamere, and then ended up with fucking farting on coworkers, man, or whatever its their name is.
Yeah, I remember I heard about that. That's
Oh
pretty
my
funny.
God. So, that's exciting. Even though I don't have VR. So Valve might just go, because they have to make games to promote their VR set and shit.
Yeah.
And if they need AAA games for VR headsets, because they don't really have them. You could do Skyrim and Elite Dangerous and shit like that, simulators and stuff.
Could you imagine,
Elite Dangerous would be so good in VR.
I just had a random thought. Could you imagine,
Porn.
interviewing a random Riot employee and being like, were you the person who was farting on people?
That would be funny.
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. So,
Something about Skyrim VR, they probably already have it.
Yeah.
yeah, they got that
They got
shit.
that.
Yeah. I want Oblivion VR, though.
Oh, God.
That would look bad. Like, just someone in your face was like, whoa! Like, whoa, stand back, crazed fan.
More like fuck
That's
no in
weird.
Skiengrad when that fucking guy just comes up behind you and you force turn around and this elf dude there is
Yep. Oh, that's right, they did do that or whatever. They just
Yep.
made you face them.
that fucking elf guy that's like, hey.
Yeah, he's like, hey, come over here, meet me behind this building or whatever at Obliv. What was that? That was like...
The best is when you're at the murder party and the guy at the end, he's like, wait a minute, if it's not me, then...
That was the best part.
Yes, that was one of the best quests in any game.
Yep.
Was the fucking mystery murder dinner that they put in Obliv.
For mine, I know it got down to the end, and he's like, "Well, if it wasn't me, then also just swing and kill him." I'm just like, you don't get to.
Oh yeah,
complete
wasn't that? Don't you lead him to the chest or no? He has a shit in the chest because he's secretly a red guard, right?
Might have been.
Or no, I think you could kill him in different orders, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
I should know. I played through that game like 50 fucking thousand times.
I just remember the quest said no one's supposed to know it's you, man. So I made sure he didn't know.
Was that one of the Dark Brotherhood quests?
I think so,
I-
yeah.
I
They
think
sent you
so.
to
One of the
that
chains?
dinner party thing
Yeah,
or whatever
I
in
think so.
Skiengrad. It was so good.
Oh my god, yeah, that game was so fucking good, dude.
Yeah, you had to isolate the people and things like that, and just someone can follow you all the way
shit.
up the stairs and stuff, and it was so good.
I love how these people didn't know it was you, yet you're wearing full decked out armor and shit. And fucking
Right?
the one guy who's got a big
I mean,
sword.
let's be real. Lucian Luchance kind of got what he deserved because the Dark Brotherhood are kind of
The Dark Brotherhood doesn't care about the Dark Brotherhood. I actually got the Morrowind for Xbox.
Yep.
This
Game
past
of the Year edition. Yep.
past weekend used, It apparently contains the Tribunal and Blood Moon.
Game of the Year had all the expansions.
And it's actually complete.
So it's actually got the
map.
map.
Yeah, so I actually have the map.
The map somewhere.
Yep, we found it not that long ago.
And the software registration card, and this manual is like mint.
Well, that's good.
So I'm pretty sure
this looks pretty good from over here.
it's good, but it's definitely played and cleaned. But no, this is awesome. It's like $15 for a complete. I actually have... Oh, they're upstairs now, but I have the maps framed for Oblivion and Skyrim, but I didn't have the Morrowind one because I never bought it.
And I'm guessing since this is the Game of the Year one, it's got the complete map too with Soul's Time and stuff because the original version only came with a map.
It should at the bottom have a part for Mournhold too, where it shows like the rest of the continent or something like that down there.
Yeah, you can check it.
It just crumbles to dust.
Yeah, it
could.
You just open it up.
I'm unfolding a map.
You just open it up and there's just a nut stain.
Oh, just in the middle. Yep, there's Mournhold.
Yep.
And
you got the Temple of Alyx.
And then Soul's Time will be up there. Yep.
Oh,
yep. Soul's Time.
In Mournhold, there's a quest where you go into the sewers to kill a lich, but guess what?
This map is way fucking better than the other maps.
The lich fucking one-shots you pretty much. Like it's.
I think it even had cliff racers on there. So.
Who's fucking? What was it? Umbra? Is that the chick that you can...
Umbra, I just remember with Umbra in Morrowind, I literally had to use... I'd, like, get a few hits in on her, fucking teleport back to the temple that's in the city nearby, run out there, hit her a couple times again, teleport. Eventually she died, but, like...
it just took a while?
Which guy was that? Was that the guy wearing, like, the samurai-looking armor, or is that a different person? Or who is that?
It's the person who has the sword Umbra.
Yeah, I don't know who
There's also someone in... Obliv that has...
It's in every game, I think.
Yeah. I remember the Obliv one. I just don't remember the one
from... Liar. I know that.
Maik the Liar and Obliv. Yep.
Nahat.
Yeah, I wish...
That quest when you go up, like, the coast and you have to, like, free the Khajiit slave and, like, bring him to the Argonian mission in Ebonheart or whatever. God, those quests were, like, fucking so good in that game.
Yeah.
You, like, do, like, one thing, and all of a sudden there's Dark Brotherhood assassins ambushing you and shit, or Morag Tong or whatever.
I highly doubt I'll even play it on the Xbox, because I play it with the modded graphics or whatever.
You would have to play it with HD textures on PC for it to be...
Alex, you'd always kill that guy in the first city or whatever to take his house as, like, a little house to squat at.
Well, in the first city,
and then the Dark Brotherhood
would come
after
you have to kill anyway, like...
Yeah,
for a quest.
That's the guy I'm talking about. But that makes the Dark Brotherhood come after you after that.
You just take his shack in Seda Neen because it's over there, like across the. You know where the guy puts the ring inside the stump or whatever? Like across there's like 2 or 3 shacks, and it's like the one that's the furthest to the north or whatever. That thing was so full of magic items and armor on that because if I'd pick up like 500 pounds worth of shit, I'd just like TP back to Seda Neen, drop it in that fucking. Like Stendar's hammer, drink a bunch of Sujamma, pick it up, teleport back there, drop it out. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just...
Oh, shit. Thor.
Oh! Like, nowadays when they, like, limit how many debuffs you have, like, they don't know what it's like to just drink, like, fucking 30 jars of Sujamma and just fucking, like, swing a sword at something. You know what I'm saying? Like... Oh, 30 strength, 30 strength, 30 strength, 30 strength. Just fucking go to town, dude.
This sword just breaks with one swing.
So, Morrowind had the persistent world too, right?
Back when Skooma actually did something.
Where you can leave shit anywhere?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm not sure if they did any, like, item collection on it or not.
Yeah.
I know that if it's inside, for sure, like, unless there's a character there that would try to clean it up, I think it doesn't, which is why that abandoned shack is where I drop shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as no NPCs go in there and start picking shit up. Morrowind is really fucking good. Such a good game. Elder Scrolls, they fucking nailed it with Daggerfall, Morrowind, and Obliv. They really did. Fuck Skyrim.
Well,
Skyrim's good. I played a lot of Skyrim. I'm just talking shit.
The thing about Skyrim is it's just so watered down at this point. It's not really an RPG anymore, per se.
Yeah, it sucks. Because to make it look good, they have to reduce... content.
Like back in the day when your hitting was a dice roll. Like Morrowind.
Yep, like Morrowind.
It's like, oh, what, you miss? How can you fucking miss when you swing at it? Oh.
That's how the die works.
You mean I gotta swing at this mud crab 40 times to get my short blades up one so I can maybe hit it a little more?
Thankfully, Daggerfall is, the biggest one. It's fucking massive. Thankfully, you could teleport right off the bat to any town in Daggerfall. Otherwise, that game would be fucking unbearable. It's got the 2D like Doom sprites, the flat sprites, but they turn when you turn or whatever.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So they could just fit just so much shit in there. It's crazy. Daggerfall is a really good game. I want the big box PC, just like the big box PC game or whatever, and have that on a shelf. That would be cool. Maybe get the other ones as well. Not Arena though, because that's probably expensive. I did not go see Dr. Sleep yet, but I heard it was good. I haven't really heard anything bad about it, but I don't think many people are watching it.
Well, Joey said he liked it, so.
Well,
McGregor, whatever that means.
Well, McGregor usually does a pretty solid performance, so it should be.
Right. And it's Stephen King. I did not need a sequel to The Shining. Apparently, it's a book, though.
Yeah, it's like a short story thing, the new thing.
Yeah, it's been out for a while. I didn't even know that, so that's pretty cool. There's a lot of shit that Stephen King does that you don't hear about because it's not made into a movie yet, but it will eventually.
Oh, yeah. They'll be picking his stuff apart for decades and decades.
I wish they redid The Stand in Dark Tower. Even though I didn't read the Dark Tower books.
They redid the Dark Tower.
Well, wait. They had 2 movies for it?
They Sean Penn and a... No, not Sean Penn.
Sean Penn?
Who's the other guy? It's not Sean Penn, it's the beach bum.
Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, McConaughey.
That's the only version of it that exists, I think, right?
Yeah.
He said redo. I'm like, wait a minute. They already... They had the stuff back in the day for the Dark Tower or whatever.
They already did it. How many Dark Tower books are there?
Like 7, I think, at this point, maybe?
I'm not,
it's still going?
I'm not 100% sure.
Jesus. Yeah, that movie was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. But knowing, like, the tie-ins to the other movies with the Magician from The Last Stand and shit, and how much darker the books are, like, I just wish it was that. And not PG-13.
The Man in Black, dude.
Yeah, The Man in Black. Walter O'Dim. So that's pretty cool. The Mandalorian. I did watch it after last Friday. And I thought it was awesome. Was I not supposed to say your last name?
We'll bleep it.
I do it all the time on here.
I know you do.
Unbleeped. You've missed some.
Yeah, I know.
You're on the internet. They're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out, Ross.
Because of you, bitch.
They might. I'll put it in the description. Last name's in the description. But I liked it.
You liked it? Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought The Mandalorian was really good. Watched the first 2 episodes. I'm not going to spoil anything because it's really fresh.
It's directed by the Fobbs, so...
Yep. Did he just write it, or did he actually like write and direct these?
He did the first episode for sure. I think.
I think
there's different people.
He wrote it, but I think
episodes. I think.
Yeah, it'll be switching off directors, just like Atlanta, where they kind of had a. Actually, no, Atlanta.
And Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Sure.
Even on. There are a lot of series.
I think they do that on Walking Dead. Even
it's got an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, 9.1 on IMDb.
It's got higher on IMDb. Holy shit.
9.1 out of 10, yeah.
Fucking Cybertruck.
Who really looks for ratings on IMDb, though, for movies, honestly?
Yeah.
Fucking Pedro Pascal. Gina Carano's in there?
Yep.
Ooh,
They said
dude.
she's going to be on episode 4 is what I heard.
It's a rated R episode, right?
Sure.
Nice, dude. She was in a few movies for a while and then just faded off into nothingness.
Yeah.
Which sucked because, I mean...
She was originally like a fighter person, right?
Yeah, mixed martial artist.
Yeah.
Like that one girl that became a wrestler.
Mm-hmm. Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Ronda
aroused me, is that what you
said? She's in Deadpool.
Francis like, what the fuck?
Gina Carano's the strong girl from Deadpool. The villain, the strong villain or whatever in the first Deadpool movie.
They have one person listed as a Jawa. Does that mean one guy's playing them all?
I don't know.
Asking for a friend.
That'd be funny, actually.
Just one guy.
Yeah. Let me check this out. I'm trying to find
there's a Jawa elder, so there's at least 2 people.
There's at least 2 Jawas. It was created by John
there's another
Favreau.
one. Oh, nice. They're actually giving acting opportunities to little people.
Yeah.
Alex just sitting there like, what were you looking at?
Oh, for
Kyle Pacek?
Yeah, actually, if you look at this, like, that's awesome that they're not just editing them in; they're actually having actors do it.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I hope so.
Bartender, IG-11. Yep. Taika Waititi.
Yep.
All right. So I'm looking at a bunch of shit, and we're pretty quiet. So
Yeah, right?
Pedro Pascal's just great in whatever he does. So, I mean, it's...
I haven't seen him in anything that I didn't like yet, which is awesome.
You saw Triple Frontier, right?
I liked it.
You saw...
And he wasn't bad in it. He had like a supporting role to the...
Wasn't he in Rogue One?
No.
He was Cassian Andor, right?
No, that was some other rando guy.
Yep.
That looks like both of them put together.
Huh.
Yeah.
He was in
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, obviously. He was in that movie where they're on some kind of like moon or something.
Prospect.
And they're like, yeah,
Wait,
Prospect.
wait.
That was...
Prospector.
So it says he's going to be in the new Wonder Woman movie or something?
I wouldn't
could
doubt
be.
it. The guy's like one of the biggest like actors like right now, like as far as like,
Yeah, dude. He did Game of Thrones, which people loved, and then he did Narcos, and that was like really fucking good. Then he did Triple Frontier.
He's got
really
this
fucking good.
fifty
He was
action
in that
stars.
Great Wall movie with Matt Damon.
He was. He was, and he was the best part of that movie.
That's true.
He was like the funny sidekick
It
guy,
says
wasn't
he
he?
was in Kingsman: The Golden Circle, but I don't think
I didn't see that.
I don't think I
never saw
saw the second one
Yeah.
because the first one was like okay.
Yeah, I didn't
Second
try
one
it.
brought in like the whole American branch or whatever.
Yep. He might have been the best part of that movie. We don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Let's see where The Watchmen's at.
I've
7.1 out of
I've
10
heard-
on
I've heard
IMDb.
solid reviews out of actually The Watchmen, believe it or not.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about Watchmen. I'm trying to find Rotten
It's like
Tomatoes.
a full-on series, right? Where like
Yeah, it's
they
a TV show.
Oh, Tim Blake Nelson. Well, the guy's
96% on Rotten Tomatoes
the
for
guy,
Watchmen.
Tim Blake Nelson, the guy's fucking like legendary in anything that he's in. I mean, he's Buster Scruggs. He's in fucking Oh Brother Where Art Thou. He's fucking like
Jeremy Irons is in it as Ozymandias. Regina King's in it. Don Johnson, dude.
oh man, they got the Black Manta in there too. Yahya Abdul Mateen II.
Yep. Watchmen's shaping up to be pretty good. I gotta watch it.
So Watchmen, this is related to the actual Watchmen, like graphic novel, right?
Yes, I believe this is like sequeled after the graphic novel.
Okay, so this is a continuation of what happened in the original.
Yes, so
continuity.
not nuke, but giant space octopus.
Okay, and
Or squid.
so we're not actually going to like see like Rorschach's already dead. Night Owl probably doesn't give a fuck about anything anymore.
I don't know what happens to them yet, but Silk Spectre 2, she's in it older. I saw her in the trailer. Manhattan does make an appearance. It shows Ozymandias is in there, but otherwise it's focusing on like the world after the events and how like vigilantism like.
And is there going to be a new group of Watchmen that come together and they're now?
I think that's
Okay.
like apparently from what I've heard, but I haven't watched it, is that like a far right conspiracy newspaper is the one who actually got Rorschach's journal. So it creates like a huge like right-wing conspiracy thing
The
with
deep
Rorschach masks, and they're like alt-right people, but like
Fucking,
pushing
what
these
do you call it?
conspiracies that
Fucking
Rorschach
chemtrails
had.
and shit.
Yeah, and I can't remember if Rorschach's journal was like mostly nonsense or not. I think that was part of the plot, but yeah, it just seems like it's really good. Like,
So Was it named Dr. Manhattan? Is that what he's called?
Yeah.
If he's so, like, powerful, why can't he just reassemble, like, people, like, who he kills?
I wouldn't know. Maybe he can't do that.
Okay.
I don't think he can create life. Well, from, like, the movies, it doesn't seem like he can create life ever.
Well, then he sucks.
He can create, like... Well, we'll see, because apparently in the trailer it shows that they have, like, news footage, like, oh, Dr. Manhattan is still on Mars, and it, like, you know, shows him living life on Mars or whatever. So maybe he created life on Mars.
How much Blue Dong is it, like?
I don't know. It's HBO, so
it's
it might be.
Are they the same people playing the people, or?
No, this is far in the future, so it's Jeremy Irons is playing Ozymandias.
Well, couldn't the same guy play the blue guy, though? Because he doesn't age, I don't think.
I don't know now.
Now
I want to look
unless
to
they
see.
just replaced him with somebody because he'd be weird. You know, you wouldn't be able to tell it anyways, probably.
Right.
HBO is just like, hey, if you want to see like the 2 shows that we have out, it's like $15 a month. It's like, but you can get Netflix for cheaper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I am not seeing anything for Dr. Manhattan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe
unless he says his real name or
they
something.
just allude to it. I can't remember what Dr. Manhattan's actual name.
Maybe they never show his face.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just looking through IMDb quick to see if I can find it quick. I'm not seeing it.
I mean, they're obviously unbelievers regarding the Watchmen, you know, that sort of thing. But, you know,
Yeah.
I mean...
Apparently, I have not read the Watchmen comic book, graphic novel, whatever you want to call it. Did you know that it is, like, considered one of, like, the top of all time?
Oh, yeah.
And Alan Moore hates it? Or no, I'm pretty sure he's fine with it. But
I was going to say...
Alan Moore's, like, really old and bitter.
Alan Moore also did, like, The Dark Knight, like, the shit that Nolan, like, used as the basis for his Batman trilogy, isn't it?
Yep.
Was...
I think he recently said, Alan Moore said that, like, comic books are for kids and not for adults or some shit, too.
Well, comic book movies are, like, not, like... I want to say you just said they aren't, like, legit movies, because comic books, yeah, like you said, you know.
Or for kids and not for adults or some shit. So that's going to conclude this episode because we ran out of shit. So, like and subscribe. Crystal might be here next week. Yeah, so we'll catch you next time.
See you.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the episode. You can catch us currently at the Prime 4 Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Podcast Addict for audio only. If you want to see how fugly we look in real life, you can also catch us on YouTube under the Prime 4 Podcast.